How's it going, guys, and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you an update on everything that's been going on with me the last number of months. The most exciting part of that for me was getting my Master Level Technician certificate, a recognition that I'm extremely proud of, something that's made me rewind and think about my career in fine detail, and something that I wanted to talk to you about where I started and all of the steps I took to get to where I am right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so let's jump straight in on the Master Level Technician, that certificate, that recognition, why I went about getting that in the first place, the process that it took, and also how I feel about certificates. It just means that you've reached a certain level that you are now recognized in your industry. That is very important for me in a career pathway since, and I have very much enjoyed rewinding and going back over the whole process that my career has been. I looked back over my channel recently and I looked back at my earlier vlogs, and I had never spoke about when I started and the different trainings that I had done. So I thought this video, this update was a perfect time to do that. I have worked on vehicles pretty much all of my young life into adulthood. My grandfather owned a workshop, my dad owned a workshop, and I then ran that workshop for quite a long period of time. That meant when I was younger, I was doing weekends, I was doing evening shift, helping out in the workshop when I could or when I was forced to. You doing it?
Yeah.
I keep watching you now and make sure you do it right. Okay, so I started my career, and this is where I want to jump into, not my earlier part when I was working on cars, but my actual full-time career, 2003. I then started my apprenticeship in 2004. That was a 4-year apprenticeship, so I finished that in 2008. Shortly after that, I'd done a 10-week course in advanced automotive technology. That was getting basically an introduction into problem solving on sensors, and I think it was quite heavy as well on emissions related problems. So we have an NCT over in the Republic of Ireland, which means we have emissions tests every single year, and it was getting a diagnostics perspective on them emissions faults and how you might diagnose and rectify them. So I done that course. Shortly after that, my career kind of ramped up because my father had a heart attack, and I went from working on the workshop floor every day but having somebody else run the workshop to being thrust into having to do everything in the workshop. So I was the sole provider of income and allocating jobs to the team members that was in there. I had to manage parts, had to manage all of the supplies, invoices, deal with customers, and we were dealing with dealership work as well. So we were getting subcontracted work from the dealerships. We were carrying out that work that was on a monthly kind of contract basis. So I had to deal with all of that as well. Very different role than what I was in, but something that was absolutely necessary to keep the garage going, to keep the workshop going, and something that I think propelled my career, my management side, my knowledge for customer service, having that interaction every day, and all of that. It helped me, very pressurizing at the time, but it certainly was a huge influence on my career as well. Fast forward to 2012 late, I then everything settled down with the garage, and my father was okay. He was back in the workshop again, definitely late 2011, 2012 he was back in there. So I was looking for opportunities abroad. I always wanted to work abroad, and with everything that was going on the last number of years that had that the last number of years, how it felt for me, I wanted a change. I wanted to be able to experience a different environment and to check out a different climate. So I picked Australia. It wasn't my number like one and only on the list. I did weigh up all my options. So I looked at the UK, I looked at Canada, I looked at potentially America, but Canada more so, and Australia, so Oz. It turned out Oz was definitely the best place for me, weighing up the amount of money you get, weighing up career kind of lifestyle balance. My now wife but partner at the time, her career options over here as well. It just worked out that over here was the best for us. I would encourage anybody that has a thought of going abroad or experiencing something else to weigh up your options heavily, look into it, go deep, weigh up all the pros and the cons, spend nights and nights researching what you want, and then go for it. You only live once, and I value experiences so highly, and I would always prefer to live with experiences over regret, and I knew I would regret if I didn't make that move and go for it. Back to my training and development side, 2012 came over here, which is where I am now currently based in Oz, and I was able to invest more in my training and my personal development. Again, owning or running your own business and workshop. Any of you that have done it, any of you that are continuously doing it, you will understand that the hours just aren't enough in a day to get everything done. You seem to be chasing yourself all of the time, working late to get yourself ahead the next day, but then doing the same thing again and again. Now, that is a good thing because you have work, but that is a bad thing when it comes to career development. I wasn't able to do much in regards to online learning, attending courses, or spending much time on advancing my career from, let's say, 2010 to 2012. It was just too intensive, it was too full on, and there wasn't really any avenue for that for me. I did have extracurricular activities that I have done with my life all the way along. I'm into sports, into fitness, and I like doing other stuff outside of the automotive industry. But I continued that same mentality that I had at home when I moved to Oz in 2012, and I was able to still be invested in sports and fitness, but also be able to have enough time for training, upskilling, looking at future technologies, and trying to keep up with this ever-changing, fast-paced industry that we're in. 2012, I came over here. Early 2013, I started doing my first courses. They're advanced masterclass technician course over here. They're very, very good. They're evening courses, but they are extremely informative. They're well put together. A lot of time has gone into them. You get a booklet afterwards, and I find them extremely, extremely good. So every opportunity I got to do one of those, I was doing it while continuously doing online training as well. I'd done that from 2012 to 2016. I then moved back home, and that's when YouTube became real. Was at the end of 2016, November, December time. And again, it was difficult to do training for myself, to get them 2-3 day courses in, get them online modules done. It was very difficult to do any of that. So my main focus was the business, making sure that money was coming in, bills were being paid, and then problems were getting solved on the workshop floor, helping out staff and keeping customer service high and customer feedback good, etc., etc. That was 2016, and then I came back to Australia in 2019. Now, that brings me to why I'm speaking about this. When I mentioned that I was moving, when I mentioned that I was leaving a workshop that I had showed so much of, that I had showed the development of, that I had showed my plans, all of that side, people My long-term subscribers at the time were extremely confused. I know some of my family members were, I know some of my wife's family members were, and they were all thought that we were making a mistake. A lot of people thought we were making a mistake. But what I will say is, no matter what industry you're in, if it's a trade or otherwise, there is ways to advance yourself. There's ways to get ahead, get the most out of that career, have the best work-to-life balance that you can, and do what's right for you. Don't listen to anybody else. Get that negative feedback, throw it away, stay positive, and stay on what you think is right for you. And for me at the time, I knew it was very clear that I needed to switch it up. I have 2 little kids now, but when I really started to feel the downside of running your own business and being so involved in it, I'm talking about 60 plus hours the majority of weeks. Sometimes it went up to as high as 70 to 80, and that was because I was involved in the marketing side as well. You're continuously thinking of ideas to improve and develop, get more in the door, try to improve the hours that you have in some way, trying to make it better. And that means that you are constantly thinking about it all of the time. It's hard to switch off when you're at that level of it. So it was very clear that we needed a change. I got an opportunity, I got a job offer to come back over in the end of 2018. We weighed it up and we decided that it was the best for our family. Looking at the work hours that I would have to run maximum, or how I would be able to focus on YouTube, how my wife could go into her career development over here, and everything in between. The lifestyle that we have, the lifestyle that we have had, and how we are now finding it. It was the best decision, and 100% the best decision that we could have done at the time. We have had a fantastic year. Things have gone so well. The kids have integrated extremely well over here, and from my own career standpoint, I have been able to go back and start to train again more, invest more in my career, reading, learning, developing. I have done over 50 online modules within the last, I suppose I'm here 15 months, 15 coming up 16 months. I have done a number of evening classes as well. I had planned to do hybrid and EV 3-day training or 2-day training. So I have been able to improve as a technician. So overall, guys, it's been extremely rewarding the last year or so. Transition has been amazing, and I have a lot of exciting things coming up. Some exciting things have happened. I'm in talks with companies at the minute for potential to be working together later in the year or early next year. I have locked in an expo for the end of this year that I will be attending, and I'm very much looking forward to that. It'll be my first big automotive expo that I will be going to, and then early in 2021 there should be another very exciting thing that I will be attending as well. It got postponed for now, so they haven't released the dates or confirmation of anything at the moment. Once they do, I will be able to give that information out to you as well. I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. I really appreciate it. The comments, the likes, all of that is something that I'm very thankful of. I have grown the community over the last number of years. We're now nearly at 33,000 subscribers, over 13 million views, which is absolutely mind-boggling. I get comments every single day. I cannot respond to them all, but I try my best when I can to do that. Yeah, there's some other projects as well in the pipeline, but they are further afield. We're continuously doing things behind the scenes, and I'm always trying to improve the content I have and the information that I give to anybody that's associated with this channel. As always, this channel will continue to be about giving you information from the very simple jobs to the more detailed jobs. I will continue to try and reach both audience. I will always be there for them small DIYs, and I very much enjoy putting together more advanced videos as well, detailing how to diagnose and fix problems. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed to the end, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.